Hi everyone, this is so weird and foreign to be doing this after such a long break. I feel very awkward right now. The reason I have been so absent here on YouTube, my last video was in January. I just haven't been in the right headspace. The first few months of the year I really struggled a lot mentally. I went into a bit of a depression. I just felt really lost and alone and confused and unsure and scared and all of those kind of feelings that come with making big decisions and closing the door on genetics, which I discussed in my last video. I found it a lot harder to process that than I thought I would. I think a lot of that had to do with my sister having her baby in January, and I don't know, it made closing the door on genetics that much harder for me. It stung that little bit more. I've just had a lot going on, and so this video is kind of going to be a bit of a life update video because I haven't spoken to you since January. So as I said, the first part of the year was just really intense and heavy. My head was constantly thinking about all of our different options, and we're so grateful to have options, and the scenarios, and just overthinking everything. So for a long time I was just feeling really exhausted, mentally drained, and physically tired too. It was just consuming. It's the first time in this 7-year journey to trying to have a baby where I felt the most lost and unsure. Usually decisions that we've had to make have come pretty easily or have felt right, I guess. And this time I was waiting for that feeling and it just wouldn't happen, and I think it's because of all of the trauma that we've experienced. We've been in this position where we've had to make big decisions and grieve certain aspects, like me not carrying the baby. But this time it felt different and even more scary. I've discussed this before, but Tim is at a point where he's feeling like enough's enough, and so that is also a fear factor in trying to make the right decision, and you never know what the right decision is. I mean, it's all in hindsight. Tim and I had some very intense discussions. Discussions like when to decide enough's enough and accept a childless life. For me, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready. I try to think about it and I try to find acceptance in that, but I am not there. Becoming a mother is something I've always wanted very, very deeply, and it is what it is. That's how I feel. But it's tricky when you're at a crossroads with your partner. So yeah, there's definitely been some downs. There's been lots of ups as well. I launched my photography business 4 months ago actually. Had my first shoot 3 months ago. So that's been really lovely and a positive distraction, a really nice way to have an outlet. Of course, Melbourne is currently in lockdown, so photo shoots are on hold for the time being, but I'm definitely excited for the future and growing this business. I've also been caring for my dad part-time. He has motor neuron disease. He was diagnosed 3.5 years ago. It's definitely been hard over the years to see him become weaker and unable to do things. He's an artist and draws and paints, and he hasn't been able to for about a year. He can't hold a paintbrush or pencil properly. So that's been really, really sad. My heart just aches for him. It's reaching a point now where we're needing to talk about and plan for the end, which has been really, really, really hard. Up until this point I've just been trying not to think about that too much, but it feels like it's creeping up, and that makes me feel very anxious. My sister is trying to get married. She's organised her wedding so my dad can be a part of it. So that wedding is scheduled to be in 2 weeks, depending on what happens with COVID. and the restrictions, but I've been trying to help her plan that wedding as well. I'm probably not doing a very good job with helping her, but obviously my last video was announcing that we decided to do embryo adoption. At that point we didn't have a donor and we were still processing that. Obviously it's a massive thing, and it's not just a quick and easy decision. Tim wasn't 100% there yet, and I was still seeing my niece come into the world. I was still questioning if we should be trying these things we haven't tried yet with our genetics. More and more over the first few months of the year I felt myself wondering, what if? And I know in my heart Tim and I would love with every ounce of our being a child that wasn't genetically ours. That has never been a doubt in my mind. But it's still really hard to close the door on genetics when there are stones left unturned, and I know a lot of you probably won't understand, and that's okay. I'm not asking for opinions or advice. I'm just sharing our story, and we have decided to do another round of IVF. If you'd asked me in January if that was an option, I mean, I think I said it in the video, it was absolutely not. That 2 years ago when we did our last IVF cycle, it was understood that that was it. That was going to be it. That was going to be our last retrieval cycle. But things change, feelings change. For a while, when that little voice suggested doing IVF in my head, I would shut it down straight away. The PTSD, the trauma, I just wasn't ready to even consider doing that again. So yeah, I just needed to take this time, this break away from social media, to get my head together, because there's no way I would have been able to share how I was feeling, because I was just so all over the place. Once we'd made that decision, I made sure to tell myself, this is what we're doing, we're sticking with it, and allowed myself that time to push it out of my mind finally and just enjoy the now without worrying about the future. I wanted to give myself that space away from thinking or talking about infertility before doing another IVF cycle, and let me tell you, it was such a breath of fresh air. Not having that burden of having to make a massive decision, which I'd been carrying for the first few months of the year. It was such a relief. Of course, when I think about IVF and all of the different hurdles we have to get through, it's terrifying, but I made sure not to think about it and focused on my photography business and caring for my dad and other things going on in my life. Over the last couple of years, I've definitely noticed a lot of couples who have a DQ alpha match have babies, and it has made me wonder. So yeah, as much as embryo adoption is a beautiful option and something we may end up doing, for now it feels like it's now or never. I'm 33, my last retrieval was 2 years ago. It just feels like it's now or never, like I said. I feel good about giving it another go and really focusing on one day at a time. That's just how I've been getting through, one day at a time. So, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you won't know that we are in the middle of an IVF cycle. It has started. I am stim day 10 today. So we're well and truly in it. I had bloods and a scan done this morning. And yeah, we're on track. I'll film another video going over this IVF cycle and the protocol, and also the vitamins that we've been taking. It's definitely more than previously, especially for Tim. A retrieval date has been tentatively booked for next week, but I have another scan on Monday. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that video going over the protocol. I've been talking about infertility for so long, not 7 years, because I wasn't filming videos straight away when we started trying, but 2016, so 5 years. 5 years. You just reach a point where you're sick of talking about infertility, and the struggles. But it's our story, and I do want to continue to share because the connections I've made along the way have been incredible and something I will treasure forever. I do still receive emails and messages from people who tell me that me sharing and my videos have helped them in some way, so that means the world. It makes the pain of the last few years worth something. Lastly, before I end this video, I just want to apologise if there is any of you who didn't hear back from me after sending me a message on Instagram or emailing me. I really haven't been in the headspace to respond to all of you. I've always tried my best to respond to people who have given their energy to sending me a message, and so I'm sorry if you're one of those people. I feel like I've repeated myself a lot over the years, but I am incredibly thankful for all of you, for your support, for being here and joining us. And I just hope I can stop talking about infertility soon and talk about something a lot more joyful. I hope you're all staying safe and well. There's so much going on in the world right now. So be kind to yourself and love others. I feel like I'm Ellen. Be kind, everybody. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I've forgotten how to wrap up videos. It's been so long. Love you all. Speak to you soon.
Misty blue sky, take me on your treasure dive. I've got nothing to lose after years with the